wanted to show y'all something that I think will be a great view of what happens when it comes to the more technical and practical side of transferring your ideas and also my own reference photos on canvas, because that is what I use. I use my own reference photos. The three kings that I've photographed are all my own reference photos. Of course, myself, my own reference photos, even the positions that I'm sitting in, my own reference photos. Props, all my own, and most of the other things that I've used before that were reference photos that I would find on Pinterest, Google, and Instagram. Instagram has great reference photos as well. The way that I use reference photos from third parties is as inspiration. Inspired reference photos. I don't want to copy literally. Now, in the beginning, I did do that a lot. I know that there are at least, I think, 2 paintings that I literally copied from the reference photo, but I don't sell those paintings at all. Because there's a reason for it, of course. Anything that you creatively, artistically have produced, you put that out for the world to see, that is yours. You own the rights. So anybody who copies that, of course, you know, you have to deal with the fact that you are copying somebody else's original work. And there can be penalties for that. There's definitely a law here in Europe that says if you are copying somebody's work, you will pay for it. Okay. So I'm not saying don't use reference photos, because I still use reference photos for a lot of the things that I do, but they're more from an inspired place. So it can be a position, a look, a feel. That's the reason why I would use reference photos, especially when it comes to illustration, sketching, things like that. But what I create further from that is mine. That is not to say that you cannot use reference photos or original photos and recreate them. It happens a lot. We see it with pop stars, idols, and actors and things like that. As a matter of fact, here on the YouTube, I've created a series called Vintage Glam, and it's based on 4 actresses. And those were taken from reference photos. Now, I did paint them realistically, but still added my own swag to it. So is it the same? Would somebody be sued if they would paint somebody's image, likeness? Because it happens all the time. We do it with, you see Tupac, you see Biggie, Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, Andy Warhol, Donald Duck, The Simpsons, all of those characters. Would you be sued for that? Probably not. Not really. Not so. Because I think there's a fine line in between that. But just to give you a clue of how you need to use the work. If it's somebody's work that is like original, then yes, you definitely have a huge chance if you are using their work. All right. They can sue you if they want to. They can. Yeah, they can. Anyway, I thought I turned it off. Listen, if you hear something on the background, that's the radiator. It's cold in here, so I do need some form of heat while filming this, all right? This is a projector, right? It's something that I bought on bol.com, which is it's kind of like the Dutch Amazon. You can find anything and everything on there that you would like to buy. And this is something that I bought because I wanted to start working more with my own reference photos way back. I don't know how many years back that was, but I wanted to start using my own reference photos more. And this is how it looks. It cost me, I think it cost me 50 euros, something like that. I think 50 euros. And to be quite honest with you, for what it does, I still believe that this is overpriced. Definitely overpriced. But it did its job. The reason why I think this would be good for people that are doing smaller work is because it really projects on smaller surfaces. Do not use this one on bigger canvases like the ones that I have over here, like the one here in the back, right? One of the kings. Do not use them on that particular canvas or surface, because it will get very much pixelated. It will get so pixelated that I just have to fill in the blanks. Like, okay, I think it kind of looks like this and the line is kind of going like that. And fortunately for me, I am not dependable on projectors to create what it is I want to create. All of the work that you see so far I've done with this particular projector and using these two eyes and these two hands. Painting, sketching, drawing is still about, but it is frustrating because for me to do more accurate work and to have a reference that accurately can be projected on a canvas, this was just not doing. So I made the decision to buy another one and we're gonna test it. We're gonna test it. The way that it works is I do need a USB stick and I do need a data stick to put here in the back. Let me see, where does it go? No, on the side. I have to put it here on the side, stick it here, then find my photo and then project the photo to the surface that I have. And to be quite honest with you, the surfaces here are 120 by 100 meters. And that is too big of a surface to have a very clear view of what it is that I wanted to see. Again, I have two projectors. It's not the end of the world, but if I'm paying for something, I want it to work. So I definitely, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna say, I blame myself. I blame myself for this, because I'm the person who bought it, and I did not really calculate it well. You know, I didn't take into consideration that if I want to do this on bigger surfaces, I need to be able to also, you know, enlarge my projection. It's taking way too much time and effort for me to put a good image on my canvas. So I'm gonna put this nicely back because she might be put to rest. Now, I'm not the type to throw things away right away. But if the one that I have over here is doing its job, we will never hear from this one again. She will go to the graveyard expeditiously.
Hey people, so it's the next day, and yes, I did record a lot of footage of me demonstrating the projector, the beamer. However, it was quite messy. There was a lot of background noise. The battery was dying on me, and I was kind of rushing through the work that I was doing, and that is not good footage. Okay, I want to easily and clearly explain the things to you all. So as you can see, this is the back of the projector. The standard can be shuffled back and forth, which is great, right? You can see back and forth. It kind of looks like the Wi-Fi booster from TP-Link, the Deco. It has the same form. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. Here's the focus scroll. There you can scroll to adjust your focus. It has a clear lens on the top. It's protected with a plastic film, which I absolutely appreciate. And here they also added, of course, the manual, an adapter cable, and a remote. Now, the remote is your standard remote. You will find it anywhere, but every remote, of course, belongs to a certain product, a certain apparatus. So you cannot use it interchangeably. Okay, so what does it mean? The remote that I have from my previous projector is exactly the same as this one, but you cannot use them interchangeably. So you have to use the remote that comes with the product. This is the manual and the adapter cable. It's not really long. I was hoping that it would be at least 1.5 meter. This is like 3 feet, 1 meter. Yeah, you cannot have it all. But overall, pretty good. And I'm also going to insert a clip of me using the projector on a piece of wall. I already have been using the projector, and I got to tell you, it's not loud at all. At all. You hardly hear it. The sound, if you are a person who likes to have like Dolby surround sound, I would suggest that you use a speaker, like a GBL speaker, Wi-Fi speaker on Bluetooth, and you're good to go. You will have great sound. If you get it from the Beamer alone, it's great. It's good. It's good, but it's quite different than when you would use your Bluetooth speaker. And I've used both, and I prefer Bluetooth speaker because it just sounds better. Okay, but again, you cannot have it all. It's still a Beamer, right? The main function is that it will project your images on a canvas. Now here is me using the projector. As you can see here, I'm just going to repeat the clip a couple of times so that you can have a look at it. And it's so clear, so sharp, very, very clear. I'm so happy with this. And that shows me that the way that I see it over there is definitely going to be the way that I will see it on my canvas as well. And I can adjust the ratio, the settings. You can adjust them as well. It has apps like YouTube, Netflix, Google Play. It even has Prime, but I don't have Prime because I want to maintain the costs of living. So we're just having YouTube and Netflix on that thing. And I've been using YouTube for quite some time on the Beamer. I connect my phone to it. I'm good to go. So here is the old projector that I have. I already demonstrated, I think, in the beginning of the clip. Here you can see the remote is the same remote as the one that I have right now. This was the network cable that I would use for the projector. Yes, she will be going to the graveyard very soon. All right, this is the projector, very clean, kind of outdated model, the way that it looks, not really stylish, but I'm more like, I like stylish things, but if it's the function, I will go for function all the time. I will go function over style. But this is not going to work for someone who, if you want to work on bigger canvases, this is just not going to work. Smaller canvases, let's say like 30 by 40 centimeters, 40 by 40 centimeters. Anything bigger than that, I would suggest take another Beamer, take another projector, take something else. Then it's going to work. But this, if you want to start easy and steadily, this is definitely something that is cost effective. I'm still of the opinion that it's an overpaid price, overvalued price. But hey, I think this is a good stepping stone for any artist who wants to, have something to project their images with. All right. I hope y'all like the review on the projector. I like making it. I definitely did. I'm not a type of a review type of girl. I used to do that back in the day with, materials that I would use like oil paint, markers, other stuff. But I don't do that as much anymore. Simply because it takes up a lot of time doing that, as you could see. And I can use that time more effectively doing something else. So where I can, I might do something, do a review about something that I'm very enthusiastic about. That I can definitely do. If I'm enthusiastic about something, I will definitely do a review because that will benefit you as a viewer as well. I am not the type of viewer that's just gonna review everything and anything just because it's there. That doesn't make any sense to me. And it's time consuming. And time is only to be spent once, right? That second, I can only spend it once. So I might as well do it on things that I'm really enthusiastic about. So this was something that I definitely enjoyed. Um, I am also of the belief that, like I said in the beginning, projectors are great tools that can add to your arsenal, but it's not something that will ever replace your own hand and eye coordination. That is just something that you need to use as an artist. I wholeheartedly believe that you need to have a good hand eye coordination. Yeah, so you do have to keep on practicing with that. One of the paintings that I created, simply based on hand and eye coordination, is Transition. Go to my website. There you can find the painting. That is completely and only hand and eye coordination. I didn't use a projector. I just had the photo, my reference photo, and I drew it out. So it is still important to have that. It's just in the book of MCJ Studio Art Laws. All right? It's in the book, the virtual digital book of MCJ Studio Art Laws. Hand eye coordination is mandatory. And another reason for that is if you don't use it, you lose it. What if the projector breaks? Or like the previous projector that I had, I had to fill out the spaces that were very pixelated, and I had to make them more rounded and more nuanced. I have to use hand-eye coordination. Sometimes I got so frustrated that I would just, put that whole damn projector to the side and I would just draw it out. So my hand-eye coordination is still important, and I need to nurture it as well. Like I already said, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. So that will never, ever, ever, ever be a reason for you to solely to use the projector. The projector is a good addition to your arsenal, and as a matter of fact, it can really cut the time in half. There are different ways, of course, on using reference on a canvas. You can use the, that you create a, now you line it out. So you create squares, you line it out, and each square stands for a piece of an image. You can literally draw it out. You can also just sketch it out, or you can just right away start off by just painting. Different ways of you just to use your reference. There is not really a good, bad method. A lot of cases we use all of them, or a combination of them, or some of them and a combination of them. Right? Eventually, an artist will ask themselves, well, what is it that works for me? So, what might be working for me might not be working for you, and that's fine. That's truly fine. I also don't consider this to be a form of cheating. No, it's not. How do you consider this to be cheating? I've seen many conversations of artists going back and forth about this, that they consider the use of a projector to be cheating because you're not really drawing out the image by hand. So, I mean, and I let that whole conversation, that whole, debuttal about it, that a long time ago. It's not really necessary. I think it's a waste of time. Try to figuring out for yourself, or did you feel a certain way about it when you use a projector? You'd be like, well, I don't know. I don't want people to think that I cannot draw. Well, if you know that you can draw, what does it matter? What does it matter? Like I already said, it's already law. And you can still draw. You can sketch. You take a sketchbook. You still keep on drawing. Keep using the muscle. That's really important. Keep using the muscle. You have to train the muscle. The projector is only there to have guidelines, to have a way for you to know what it is, where you need to put something, and where you need to outline something. That's it. That's all. It's like a guideline. It doesn't replace the work at all. No, I sincerely don't believe it. But maybe you think differently. Let me know in the comments what it is that you think about that. Yeah, but here in MCJ Studio, that is what we do. All right, we have no problem using the projector. The projector definitely saves lives. It saves lives. So yeah, like I already said, this one I bought at bol.com. I don't know if there are any similar ones that you can find on Amazon or in your region of this world, but find one that really is, worth your pennies. And you definitely, I do believe that you have to spend a little bit more for a good projector. Something that has longevity and more importantly is clear, all right? Doesn't create this pixelated image because that is not, nah, that's not it. That's just not it. No, that's not it. So, as I'm getting my lunch, I'm getting ready to continue the paintings, the two last portraits that I've created. They already finished, by the way. As y'all watching this, they already been finished. And of course, y'all will see the whole process of me getting to the end of the whole painting, how I created it, and they are now happily hanging in the coral art space, which I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of that. So I definitely made a video about me packaging not only these two paintings, the self portraits, but also the kings to be shipped to the coral art space. So y'all will see that in the near future. But for now, we're just gonna enjoy the whole process because I do believe that it's important for not just for myself, but also other artists to see what happens in between what you're doing. I get a lot of information about that, the way that I work, how I look at certain things, what can I improve for myself, what are things that I can adjust a little bit, what should I be continuing, etc., etc., etc. I get a lot of information from that. So those are like the tiny little bits and pieces that help me improve in my art practice and also see if I stay in the lines of my art practice, my focus, where what I'm working on. Or are there certain things that I do want to highlight? Do I have a curiosity for other subjects and objects, right? Are there ways that I can tell the story differently? Are there ways that I can use symbolism even more in my storyline? Are there ways that I can play with the colors, right? So those are type of questions that I ask myself internally and I look at the work. So I also keep track of how I work as an artist. I don't just blindly create the one after the one after the another after the one after another after the one and after another. That is a sure way for you to not grow in your process, not to develop yourself in a process. It is very important for yourself to see what it is that you are doing. Are you aware of what it is that you're doing? Because eventually people will look at it and there will be buyers that will want to know, well, what was your story at that particular time in life, right? What was your story at that particular time in life? What was going on? What's the meaning of this painting? And having a recollection of that, also being able to archive that in a particular way that can be on your website where you talk about the meaning of the painting. It can be maybe in your notebook, maybe just mentally. Some people just take it along with them mentally. It is important because you're now adding to culture, right? You're adding your story now to the culture, to what is happening right now. We are the reflection of what's happening right now in society, in this world. So you definitely have an input. Don't ever forget that. You definitely have an input that you need to be aware of. So don't just blindly create one painting after the other. Take moments in between. Ask yourself, is this how I want to continue? Not only technically, you know, enough artists that want to technically improve their work. I want to technically improve my work. And I significantly improve my work on a technical level from where I first started to where I am right now. And I still see ways where I want to improve it. But also from an aspect from, culturally, chronically, mentally, spiritually, culturally, on the On the social aspect, that's what I wanted to say. I'm not going to cut this out. This is going to be a one take. So if y'all want to laugh at me, that's fine. But yeah, but those are different aspects on how you can improve in that. And it's really important that you keep track of that as well. It helps you in your art practice, right? Um, it definitely does. So we're coming closely to the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know below here in the comments what it is that what you liked, what it is that you want to see for the future. Maybe you got some questions. Drop it here below. I would love to read them. Subscribe, like, and share the content. All right, subscribe, like, and share the content, and join my Patreon, because I will be posting more exclusive content from now on the Patreon. All right, see y'all next time. Be safe. Blessings. Love. Yes, be good. All right, bye y'all.
It's not for sure. They can guarantee you anything and everything.